Chapter 4. The Book on the Day of Friday. Chapter 1. What has been related about the virtue of the day of Jumu'ah. Abu Huraira narrated that the Prophet said, "The best day that the sun has risen upon is Friday. On it Adam was created, on it he entered paradise, and on it he was expelled from it, and the hour will not be established except on Friday." Great Sahih. Chapter 2. What has been related about the hour that is hoped for on Friday. Anas bin Malik narrated that the Prophet said, "Seek out the hour that is hoped for on Friday, after Asr until the sun has set." Great Sahih. Katir bin Abdullah bin Amr bin Auf al-Musani narrated from his grandfather that the Prophet said, "On Friday there is an hour in which the worshipper does not ask Allah for anything except that Allah grants it to him." They said, "O Messenger of Allah, which hour is it?" He said, "When the prayer is begun until it is finished." Great Daif. Abu Huraira narrated, Allah's Messenger said, "The best day that the sun has risen upon is Friday. On it Adam was created, on it he entered paradise, and on it he was sent down from it. And in it there is an hour in which the Muslim worshipper would not stand in Salat asking Allah for anything except that he would give it to him." Abu Huraira said, "I met Abdullah bin Salam and I mentioned this hadith to him. He said, I am more knowledgeable about that hour. So I said, inform me about it and do not keep any of it from me." He said, "It is after Al-Asr until the sun has set." I said, How can it be after Al-Asr, when Allah's Messenger said, "The Muslim worshipper would not stand in Salat, and that is a time that prayer is not performed in." So Abdullah bin Salam said, "Didn't Allah's Messenger say, whoever sat in a gathering awaiting the Salat, then he is in Salat?" I said, "Of course." He said, "Then that is it." Great Sahih. Chapter 3. What has been related about performing ghusl on Friday. Salim narrated from his grandfather, that he heard the Prophet saying, "Whoever comes on Friday, then let him perform ghusl." Great Sahih. Salim narrated another chain from Abdullah bin Umar from the Prophet which is similar. Great Sahih. And Yunus and Mamar reported from As-Suri from Salim Wudu from his father. Umar bin al-Khattab was giving a khutbah on Friday when a man from the companions of the Prophet entered. So he said, "What time is it?" So he said, "I don't know. I heard the call and did nothing more than perform wudu." So he said, "And wudu again. I know surely that the Messenger of Allah has ordered ghusl." Great Sahih. Another chain reaching to As-Suri with this hadith. Malik reported this hadith from As-Suri from Salim, who said, Umar bin al-Khattab was giving a khutbah on Friday, and he mentioned this hadith. Great Sahih. Chapter 4. What has been related about the virtue of ghusl on Friday. Avs bin Avs narrated, Allah's Messenger said to me, "Whoever performs ghusl on Friday and bathes completely and goes early, arriving early, gets close and listens and is silent, there will be for him in every step he take the reward of a year of fasting and standing in prayer. Great Sahih. Chapter 5. What has been related about voodoo on Friday? Samura bin Junda narrated that Allah's Messenger said, whoever performs voodoo on Friday, then he will receive the blessing, and whoever performs ghusl, then ghusl is more virtuous. Great Hassan. Abu Hurayr narrated that Allah's Messenger said, whoever performs voodoo, performing his voodoo well, then he comes to the Friday prayer and he gets close, listens and is silent, then whatever sin was between that and the last Friday are forgiven for him. In addition to 3 days, and whoever touches the pebbles, he has committed laga, useless activity. Great Sahih. Chapter 6. What has been related about going early to the Friday prayer? Abu Huraira narrated that Allah's Messenger said, whoever performs ghusl on Friday, the ghusl for janaba, then he goes. He is like one who gave a camel in charity. Whoever goes in the second hour, then he is like one who gave a cow in charity. Whoever goes in the third hour, then he is like the one who have a ram in charity. Whoever goes in the fourth hour, then he is like the one who gave a chicken in charity. Whoever goes in the fifth hour, then he is like one who gave an egg in charity. When the Imam comes out, the angels are present, listening to the remembrance. Great Sahih. Chapter 7. What has been related about neglecting the Friday prayer without an excuse? Abu al-Jad, meaning ad-Damri, narrated, and he was a companion according to the claim of Muhammad bin Amr. Allah's Messenger said, whoever neglects the Friday prayer 3 times in a row without an excuse, then Allah sets a seal upon his heart. Great Hassan. Chapter 8. What has been related about how much distance one should cover to go to the Friday prayer? Fuaid narrated from a man among the people of Cuba, from his father, who was one of the companions of the Prophet, that he said, the Prophet ordered us to attend the Friday prayer in Cuba. Great Daif. Narrator not mentioned. I heard Ahmad bin Hussein saying, we were with Ahmad bin Hanbal, so they mentioned the one upon whom the Friday prayer is obligatory. Ahmad did not mention anything about it from the Prophet. Ahmad bin al-Hassan said, I said to Ahmad bin Hanbal, there is something about it from Abu Huraira from the Prophet. So Ahmad bin Hanbal said, from the Prophet? I said, yes. Ahmed bin Hanbal said, Hajjaj bin Nusayr narrated to us. Mubarak bin Abad narrated to us from Abdullah bin Sayyid al-Makburi from his father, from Abu Huraira, that the Prophet said, the Friday prayer is required from whomever can return to his family by the night. He said, so Ahmad bin Hanbal became angry with me, and he said to me, Seek forgiveness from your Lord. Seek forgiveness from your Lord. Chapter 9. What has been related about the time for the Friday prayer? Anas bin Malik narrated, the Prophet would pray the Friday prayer when the sun was declining. Great Sahih. Another chain from Anas from the Prophet, similarly. Great Sahih. Chapter 10. What has been related about the khutbah on the minbar? Ibn Umar narrated, the Prophet would give the khutbah next to the trunk of a date palm. When the Prophet began using the minbar, the trunk cried out for him until he came to it and held it, so it became quiet. Great Sahih. Chapter 11. What has been related about sitting between two khutbah? Ibn Umar narrated, the Prophet would give a khutbah on Friday, then sit, then stand and give another khutbah. He said, similar to what they do today. Great Sahih. Chapter 12. What has been related about curtailing the khutbah? Jabir bin Samura narrated, I would pray with the Prophet, and his prayer was moderate, and his khutbah was moderate. Great Sahih. Chapter 13. What has been related about the recitation on the minbar? Safwan bin Yala bin Umayyah narrated from his father, who said, I heard a prophet reciting when on the minbar, and they will cry, O Malik, keeper of hell. He said, there are narrations on this topic from Abu Huraira and Jabir bin Samura. Great Sahih. Chapter 14. What has been related about the direction the Imam faces when delivering the khutbah? Abdullah bin Masud narrated, when Allah's Messenger descending the minbar, he would face our direction. Great Da'if. Chapter 15. What has been related about 2 rak'ah when one arrives while the Imam is delivering the khutbah? Jabir bin Abdullah narrated, the Prophet was delivering a khutbah on Friday. When a man came, the Prophet said, have you prayed? He said, no. So he said, then stand and pray. Abu Isa said, this hadith is Hasan Sahih. It is the most correct thing about this topic. Liyad bin Abdullah bin Abi Sar narrated, Abu Sayyid al-Khudri entered the mosque on Friday while Marwan was giving the khutbah, so he began praying. 2 guards came to make him sit down, but he refused until he had prayed. When he finished, he came to us and we said, may Allah have mercy upon you. They nearly harmed you. He said, I was not going to stop performing them, the 2 rak'ah, after what I saw from Allah's Messenger. Then he mentioned that a man who appeared untidy came on Friday while the Prophet was delivering the Friday khutbah. So he ordered him to pray 2 rak'ah all the while the Prophet was delivering the khutbah. Great Hassan. Chapter 16. What has been related about it being disliked to talk while the Imam is delivering the khutbah? Abu Huraira narrated that Allah's Messenger said, whoever said, be quiet while the Imam is giving the khutbah, then he has committed lagv, useless activity. Great Sahih. Chapter 17. What has been related about it being disliked to step over the necks of others on Friday? Sal bin Mad bin Anas al-Jani narrated from his father that Allah's Messenger said, whoever steps over the necks of the people on Friday, he has taken a bridge to hell. Great Da'if. Chapter 18. What has been related about Al-Habwa being disliked while the Imam is delivering the khutbah. Sal bin Mad narrated from his father, the Prophet prohibited Al-Habwa on Friday while the Imam is delivering the khutbah. Great Hassan. Chapter 19. What has been related about it being disliked to raise the hands on the minbar. Hussein narrated, I heard Umara bin Rawaiba at Takafi while Bishr bin Marwa was delivering khutbah and raising his hands in supplication. So Umara said, May Allah disgrace these two insignificant hands. I have seen Allah's Messenger and he would not do any more than this. And Hushaym, one of the narrators, mentioned with his index finger, Great Sahih. Chapter 20. What has been related about the Adhan for the Friday prayer. As-Sa'ib bin Yazid narrated, the Adhan during the time of Allah's Messenger, Abu Bakr and Umar, was when the Imam came out, and when the Iqama was called for the Salat, then Uthman, may Allah be pleased with him, added a third call at As-Savra, Great Sahih. Chapter 21. What has been related about talking after the Imam descends from the minbar. Anas bin Malik narrated, Allah's Messenger would talk as necessary after descending from the minbar. Great Sahih. Anas narrated, I saw the Prophet after the Iqama was called for Salat, talking to a man who was standing between him and the Qibla. He did not stop talking, and I saw some of them getting sleepy from his lengthy standing, the Prophet. Great Sahih. Chapter 22. What has been related about the recitation during the Friday prayer. Ubaydullah bin Abi Rafi, the freed slave of Allah's Messenger, said, Marwan left Abu Huraira in charge of Al-Madinah, and he went to Makkah. So Abu Huraira led us in Salat in Friday, reciting Surah Al-Jumu'ah in the first rak'ah, and in the second prostration rak'ah. When the hypocrites come to you, Ubaydullah said, so I caught up with Abu Huraira and said to him, you recited two surah that Ali recited in Al-Kufa. Abu Huraira said, indeed, I heard Allah's Messenger reciting them. Great Sahih. Chapter 23. What has been related about what is recited in the Subh prayer on Friday. Ibn Abbas narrated, for the Fajr prayer on Friday, Allah's Messenger would recite Alif Lam Mem, which is revealed in Surah As-Sajdah, and has there not been over man. And has there not been over man. Great Sahih. Chapter 24. What has been related about Salat before the Friday prayer and after. Salim narrated from his father. The Prophet would pray 2 rak'ah after the Friday prayer. Great Sahih. Nafi narrated about Ibn Umar. When he prayed the Friday prayer, he left and prayed 2 prostrations rak'ah in his house. Then he said, Allah's Messenger would do this. Great Sahih. Abu Huraira narrated that Allah's Messenger said, whoever among you is to pray after the Friday prayer, let him pray 4. Great Sahih. Chapter 25. What has been related about one who catches a rak'ah of the Friday prayer. Abu Huraira narrated that the Prophet said, whoever catches a rak'ah of the Salat, then he has caught the Salat. Great Sahih. Chapter 26. What has been related about having siesta on Friday? Sal bin Saad narrated, "We would not have lunch during the time of Allah's Messenger, nor would we have a siesta until after the Friday prayer." Great Sahih. Chapter 27. What has been related about one who becomes sleepy during the Friday prayer, and that he is to change his location. Ibn Umar narrated that the Prophet said, "When one of you becomes sleepy during the Friday prayer, then let him move from where he is sitting." Great Hassan. Chapter 28. What has been related about traveling on Friday? Ibn Abbas narrated, the Prophet sent Abdullah bin Rawaha to lead a military detachment, and that corresponded to a Friday. So his companions left early in the day, and he said, "I will remain behind to pray with Allah's Messenger, then meet up with them." When he prayed with the Prophet, he saw him and said, "What prevented you from leaving earlier with your companions?" He said, "I wanted to pray with you, then meet up with them." He said, "If you have spent all of what is in the earth, you would not have achieved the virtue you have had you left early in the day with them." Great Daif. Chapter 29. What has been related about as-sivak and perfume on Friday? Al-Bara bin Asib narrated that Allah's Messenger said, "It is a duty for the Muslims that they perform ghusl on Friday, and that each of them wear some of his family's perfume. If he does not find any, then water is a perfume for him." Great Daif. Al-Bara bin Asib narrated another route for the same chain, similar in meaning. Great Daif.